I reached the dock at nightfall. The ferry boat had not yet arrived. I peered over the low wall of the quay. Small gray waves laden with refuse and leaves licked at the jetty like a puppy quietly lapping up water. A single truck was parked in the vacant lot by the dock. Beyond the lot stood 2 warehouses. A man had lit a bonfire in front of one of the warehouses. The red flames flickered. In the waiting room, 5 or 6 local men wearing high boots sat patiently on benches, waiting for the ticket booth to open. At their feet were dilapidated trunks and boxes loaded with fish. I also noticed several cages packed full of chickens. The birds thrust their long necks through the wire mesh and writhed as though in pain. The men sat quietly on the benches, occasionally glancing in my direction. I felt as though I had witnessed a scene like this in some Western painting, but I couldn't recall who had sketched it or when I had seen it. The lights on the broad gray shore of the island across the water twinkled faintly. Somewhere, a dog was howling, but I couldn't tell whether it was over on the island or here on my side of the bay. Gradually, some of the lights that I had thought belonged to the island began to move. I finally realized that they belonged to the ferry boat that was heading this way. At last, the ticket booth opened, and the men got up from the benches and formed a queue. When I lined up behind them, the smell of fish was overpowering. I had heard that most of the people on the island mixed farming with fishing. Their faces all looked the same. Their eyes seemed sunken, perhaps because of the protruding cheekbones. Their faces were void of expression, as if they were afraid of something. In short, dishonesty and dread had joined together to mold the faces of these islanders. Perhaps I felt that way because of the preconceived notions I had about the island I was about to visit. Throughout the Edo period, the residents of the island had suffered through poverty, hard grinding labor, and religious persecution. After some time, I boarded the ferry boat, which soon pulled away from the harbor. Only 3 trips a day connected the island with the Kyushu mainland. Until just 2 years before, boats had made the crossing only twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. It was in fact little more than a large motor launch and had no seats. The passengers stood between bicycles and fish crates and old trunks, exposed to the chilling sea winds that blew through the windows. Had this been Tokyo, some passengers would undoubtedly have complained at the conditions. But here, no one said a word. The only sound was the grinding of the boat's engine. Even the chickens in the cages at our feet did not utter a peep. I jabbed at some of the chickens with the tip of my shoe. A look of fear darted across their faces.